Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something cool in generative AI.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
It's about how we take these super powerful general AI models,
The big ones everyone talks about.
exactly, and how we make them genuinely smart and specific for your business, for what you actually do day to day. Okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here is that, while those huge LLMs are amazing, they are general.
Right, too broad sometimes.
Way too broad for really specific business stuff. So fine-tuning, that's how we teach them your language.
Your terms, your customer questions.
Your company policies, all of that. It's like moving from a general doctor to a specialist surgeon.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. A surgeon for your specific data need.
Exactly.
So our mission today in this deep dive is to walk you through a practical kind of 8-step workflow.
Yeah.
We're going to show how you can use Snowflake and some other key tech to basically turn a generic LLM into a seriously tailored tool for your company.
Sounds useful. Let's get into it.
All right, first phase, getting your data ready, all inside Snowflake. This is steps 1 to 3.
The foundation.
Totally. Step 1 is just getting your raw domain data, could be support chats, internal docs, whatever, into Snowflake.
Just pulling it in, maybe using something like the copy Y into command.
Yeah, exactly. Efficient ingestion, getting it into your tables.
Okay, so data's in. What's step 2?
Step 2 is critical. This is where you transform that raw stuff into prompt completion pairs.
Right, this is the actual training food for the AI, isn't it?
Precisely. Still in Snowflake, using SQL, you structure it like, here's the question, here's the ideal answer.
So maybe like create or replace table fine-tuned data set as select chat input as prompt, chat response as completion from customer support chats, something like that.
Exactly like that. You're creating specifically structured training material. Really vital.
Got it. Structured pairs.
And step 3, once that data set is cleaned up and structured just right in Snowflake.
You got to get it out right for the actual tuning.
Yep. You export it, push it out to cloud storage, S3, Azure, Google Cloud, wherever.
Like copy YNEO at my 3-stage fine-tuned data.json. Makes sense. Preparing it for the next step.
Okay, now phase 2. This is where the magic happens, the actual fine-tuning. Steps 4 and 5. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Using that data we just prepped.
Right. You take that curated data and you use it to teach a generic model from an external provider. Think OpenAI, Anthropic, maybe others.
And how do you connect Snowflake to those external services?
That's where Snowpark Python comes in. It's basically your bridge.
Run Python right in Snowflake to call those external APIs.
You got it. Super smooth integration. You might use code that looks something like openai.finetune.create to kick off the job.
Okay, so the external model gets fine-tuned. Then what?
Then, crucially, that newly specialized model gets its own unique ID.
Like a serial number for your custom AI.
Pretty much. And step 5 is storing that ID, and maybe it's just fine-tuned model aid back inside Snowflake.
Why store it there?
For easy access and management, everything's centralized. You know exactly which custom model is yours and how to call it.
Central control. I like it. Keeps things organized.
It's a huge advantage. Okay, phase 3. Using your new smart model and keeping it smart. Steps 6 through 8.
Putting it to work.
Step 6 is querying it. Using Snowpark Python again, you ask your now domain-specific LLM relevant questions.
So instead of a generic answer,
You get something tailored. You ask, how can I return my product?
and it gives your actual policy.
Exactly. Maybe our return policy allows returns within 30 days of purchase. Precise. Contextual.
That's powerful. And step 7, how do you surface these answers?
Well, optionally, these responses can drive things your users or internal teams interact with.
Like chatbots.
Chatbots, yeah, or custom GenAI APIs for other internal tools, maybe even feeding into reporting systems, all served up through Snowflake's app layer.
So the specialized knowledge starts benefiting the business directly.
Right. But, business changes, new data comes in.
So a one-time fine-tune isn't enough.
Probably not for long-term relevance. Continuous improvement is really important here.
Which brings us to a key consideration. Really, this raises an important question. How do you keep the model from getting stale?
That's step 8. Automation.
Using Snowflake's own features.
Yep. Snowflake streams track changes in your source data like new support chats.
Okay, so streams see the new data.
And then Snowflake tasks can automatically trigger actions like kicking off the process to prepare that new data and export it for retraining.
So create or replace task auto-export fine-tune data. kind of thing.
Exactly. It automates the whole cycle. New data comes in, gets prepped, exported, used for retraining. The model stays current.
Constantly learning. That's smart.
So just to recap quickly, we've gone from raw data, use Snowflake Cortex maybe for some foundational model access within Snowflake, use Snowpark Python to connect to external LLMs like OpenAI or Anthropic for the fine-tuning,
Stored the model ID back in Snowflake, queried it with Snowpark Python.
potentially served it via apps, and then use streams and tasks to keep it learning automatically. It's quite an elegant workflow.
A full loop, basically.
Yeah, a path to build a genuinely smart, always improving, domain-specific AI tailored just for you.
It provides a really clear roadmap, I think, through what can seem like a complex process.
So what does this all mean when you put it together?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really highlights something important.
What's that?
That truly impactful AI, maybe it isn't just about having the absolute biggest model. It's about making models deeply, deeply relevant to specific situations.
Tailoring matters more than sheer size sometimes.
It definitely can. And this raises an important question. Thinking beyond just customer service chats, what other really specific, maybe industry-locked challenges could you solve with this approach?
Like, maybe training a model on hyper-specific medical research?
Or complex financial regulation?
Yep.
Or proprietary engineering documents?
Hmm.
Things that the general model would just, well, fumble. What unique problems could your fine-tuned model tackle?
Definitely something to ponder as you go about your day. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.